This is music in the time of Corona. This is what happens when musicians and dancers and artists can no longer pursue their arts in the same way. It's what happens when the concept of community seems to have evaporated into thin air. But it's also a documentation of the resilience that artists have to continue to seek out community, to share and to create. What you're going to watch today is a compilation of performances and testimonies and rehearsal footage, and most importantly, the innovation that comes with deciding that we need the arts now more than ever.
This video that the four of us have created for our university music class has been extremely challenging. In an ideal world, we would have organised a performance and played music to a live audience. We instead put together this project to deliver online, which has thrown countless obstacles at us, yet we have managed to enjoy it as much as possible and do the best that we can. It's made me really realise how much the arts are suffering currently, and the fact that I've managed to create some form of music with three wonderful musicians has been more than I could have asked for.
We reached out to all our friends and peers, and all of them being students, we asked them to share how they've struggled and dealt with art and music in the time of Corona. And what they've shown us is that opportunities to keep the arts alive are always on the horizon.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, no, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just feels, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never, never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still I'll always, always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we dance till 3, the way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me.
So I think when things are really unpredictable, it's nice to have something that hasn't changed. And for me, I'm someone who gets a sense of purpose from creating things, and music is one of the ways that I do that. And I still have that right now. So I think it's really important that that hasn't gone away. Every key on my piano still plays the same note. And musicians around the world haven't stopped creating because of all this. So yeah, music is a constant, and I think there's something reassuring about that.
Hi, I'm Maria, and art and music has really helped me during this whole pandemic. It's a moment for me to let go and kind of forget this crazy COVID situation and enter this new world that's so beautiful and freeing. And yeah, I love it.
So music helped me a whole lot during lockdown. I, like many people, had a lot of emotional stress to deal with, some trauma, and music, playing in particular, gave me an avenue to express any fear, anxiety or upset that I was going through.
Art has supported me during the pandemic because it's really given me a space to be interactive with myself. Usually painting or writing or whatever, I always try to be doing it with other people or in conjunction with others, but now there's so much time that I really have to spend alone and delve into myself and really make art that represents me.
Being able to play the violin has been one of the best support systems for me during these really stressful times, in that I'm able to escape from the world, even if it's just for a few minutes, and transport myself to a different time and different place. And with the extra time that I've had indoors, I've also tried my best to take this time to practice every day, maybe a bit more than I normally would, and really try to improve certain things that I'm not quite as good at with all this extra time.
Pretty much overnight, I went from dancing in the studio to being at home and dancing in the kitchen, in my bedroom, and even in the garden, all of which are just so totally different. And I think it really forced me to have to visualize my own movements more, and also to kind of adapt and work out how I could best use the space which I had.
You know, we spend a lot of our time in the same room or in the same building studying, and having music to turn to, even if it is through practice by myself or if it's through online practice with others, it's been such a great outlet for me, and I've definitely appreciated having music a lot in my life, especially now.
That we've had to try completely different things in a time when it feels a bit scary to have to try and adapt to everything all at once. So we're still making theatre, technically we're still making art. It's been definitely a learning experience, I think. Personally, I've grown from it a lot. in a lot of ways that I never thought I'd have to adapt to.
Pieces. So honestly, like, we found other ways to get our art form out there and like continue to dance, even if it's not how we would normally do it or what we expected coming into the year. It's still a good way to dance, at least. So
and yeah, it just sort of gives you hope that, like, you know, a nice thing about doing it over lockdown is like it just kind of makes you excited when you can finally do like things in person again. And yeah, it kind of like gives me hope that despite everything going on, people are still trying to like make an effort to like do these extracurriculars and like put stuff on, and it definitely kind of makes you feel a bit better about the world at the moment. Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Will. It's great.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style no one else could play. He was the top man of his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next to the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a tootly attitude, he blows it into the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. And when he plays boogie woogie bugle, he was busy as a bee. And when he plays, he makes the company jump A to the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. Toot-toot-toot-tootly-atta, tootly-atta, toot-toot, he blows an A to the bar. He can't blow a note if the bass and guitar isn't with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He puts the boys to sleep with boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bride. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays. When someone gives him the beat, he really breaks them up when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. Da 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 da. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
It's been amazing that so many of our friends and members from other societies that we're involved with have become a part of our project with us too. It's been amazing to see that so many people, despite the pandemic, are continuing to make music and are continuing to enjoy music. We really hope that our performance has showed you that people can still make music in such a difficult time, and we really hope that it's uplifted all of you and that it's made you see that music can still keep going and that it can be just as good as it was before, and that one day in the future we'll be back together in person making music again.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that this project has become so much more important to us than we ever expected it to, especially with all of the obstacles that we came across during COVID. I think it gains so much more importance to us as a group. That's not to say that it didn't get hard and frustrating sometimes, especially with all of the restrictions coming in, but I think that we had always taken music making and practicing music with other people for granted so much, and when we stepped into that recital hall for the first time to record our songs, I think we all realized that this was so important to give people a sense of familiarity and a sense of normalcy that we had, really craved for such a long time. And having experienced that made it all the more important to us to be able to bring that same sensation to other people and hopefully bring them the joy that we felt in that moment.
Five or six.
I really thought Ali was like properly serious.
So did I was like, sassy. Thanks.
Right, 3, 2. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's alright.
I was like staring at it. That's gonna be really funny, like